In the simple column, we have only cash. That's why we call it as single column. In double column, we have cash also, we have bank also. We call it as double column. There is a changes in cash balance, but there is no changes in total balance. Your cash book and bank book both done in single book, that is called two-column cash book. Any transaction happens within your account only, we call it as contra. Hello everyone, this is your Adarsh sir, lecturing Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. So we are in the 13th session of your topic called your accounting. In accounting, we are doing the topic, it is cash book. In the previous session, we completed simple column or single column cash book. But in today's session, we will work out double column cash book. So in double column cash book, we will work out your cash as well as bank column. So what is the agenda for the day? The agenda for the day, it is very simple. We will understand the concept as well as we will do problem on cash book. So what we did in previous session, it was about simple cash book. We were doing only single column, that was cash book column. But in today's session, along with simple column, we'll add one more column, that is bank column. Before we go to your cash book or double column cash book, we will understand what do you mean by double column cash book. Now, it is a cash book with two columns on each side. A single column means even though there are many columns, but we call only cash, bank and discount as a number. Now, in the simple column, we have only cash. That's why we call it as single column. In double column, we have cash also, we have bank also. We call it as double column. Now, it is a cash book with two columns on each side. One column for recording cash transaction and the other column for recording bank transaction. We consider cash as well as bank. One column we consider cash, another column we consider bank. Now, next, the advantage of maintaining such a type of cash book. Now, in this, we do that cash column and bank column represent cash account and bank account. Now, in the ledger account, we used to prepare cash book. Like in the ledger, we used to prepare like cash account. And we used to prepare like bank account. Now, instead of cash account, instead of bank account, all put together, we are preparing only one, that is double column cash book. Your cash book and bank book both done in single book, that is called two column cash book. Now, in this, we have a note. What is that note? Like, the note is very simple. We'll talk about just like cash transaction, all receipt deposits into the bank are entered in the debit side of cash book and all. This same thing how we did in simple column cash book. Similarly, we'll do it in double column cash book also. Now, in this, there are contra entries are there. What is this? Contra. I'll explain you this. Now, what is that contra entries? Very simple. Like in this, there are one case, cash paid to Ravi rupees 5,000. Your name is XYZ and the person who received is Ravi. Now, in your account, you had 5,000. How much you had? 5,000. That 5,000 you paid to whom? Ravi. Now, how much you have now? You had 5,000. That 5,000 If you pay to Ravi, your balance is 0. Why it is 0? Because whatever you had 5,000, you have given to Ravi. You have transferred to Ravi. So this is called your normal payment entry. Any doubt in this? No. But what is contra? Contra is very simple. Earlier you had 5,000. After paying to Ravi, your cash becomes how much? 0. Now, again you come back. In your pocket, you have cash 5,000. How much you have cash? 5,000. In your bank account, you have 10,000. Total how much you have? 15,000 you have. At your pocket, you have 5,000 worth cash, and in your bank account, you have 10,000 rupees. Total, you have 15,000. How much you have? 15,000. Now, out of 15,000, 5,000 you have given to Ravi. Again, we'll go back to the same example. Out of 15,000, 5,000 you paid to Ravi. How much you have now? You have 10,000. Why? Because 5,000 reduced. Why it is reduced? Because 5,000 you have given to third person, outsider. But the same example will come back. You have 5,000 in cash, 10,000 in bank. Now, you don't want to keep cash with you because it is a danger. Somebody will come and take that cash. Now, what you will do? You will deposit this 5,000 into your own bank account. Now, you have cash 5,000, you have bank account 10,000, you have total 15,000. Out of 15,000, 5,000 you have deposited in your bank account. Earlier, how much you had? 5 plus 10, it is 15,000. Now, how much you have? Your cash is 0. Your bank is 15. Why? Because cash you deposited into bank. How much you have? Still 15,000. Is there any changes in the total cash you have? No. Why? Because your own cash, your own bank account, you have transferred. If you withdraw from bank for your use, if you withdraw from cash to bank, whatever you do within you, we call it as contra. Clear? Any doubt? There is a changes in cash balance, but there is no changes in total balance. Clear? Because outsider is not taking the cash within yourself only. It was in the cash format. Now it is in the bank format. Simple. Hope you understood. Yes, this is called contra. Any transaction happens within your account only, we call it as contra. Any transaction happens from your to some outsider, we don't call it as contra. Why? Because your balance changes. But in contra, your balance will not differ. It will remain as it is. Clear? Yes. Now, entries made on both the debit and credit side of the double entry or double column cash book to record single transaction is called contra. For single transaction, we make both entries. Why? Because for cash, it is a payment. For bank, it is a receipt. Even though you are not giving to outsider, but within you, for cash, it is a payment. For bank, it is a receipt. Why? Because you are paying cash into your own bank account. For cash book, in the cash column, you will show it as a payment. In the bank column, you will show it as a payment. But balance will not differ. Now, when cash, examples are when cash deposited into bank. First example, amount deposited is entered in the bank column. Second example, debit side and the same amount is entered in the cash column on the credit. So these things you will understand while doing the problem. Now, following transaction involved in contra, which we call it as contra, like cash deposited into bank is contra. Then cash withdrawn from bank is called contra. Now, we use the word called C. So wherever we do this kind of transaction within yourself, we call it as contra, and we have to mention that as C. Where do we write that? Where do we have space? You have a space called LF, ledger folio. In this space you have to write. Clear? Yes, this is all about your format as well as your understanding purpose. Now, types already we have discussed, just it is a recall or a revision for that. You have single column, double column, triple as well as petty cash. Single column we have completed. Now we are doing double column cash book. Later we'll go for triple as well as petty cash. So this is a format of your double column cash book. Remember, under double column you have date, receipt, LF, cash, bank. Earlier it was only date, payment, LF, cash. But here we are adding one more, that is bank column. Now, date, payment, LF, cash and bank column. Date, LF, cash as well as bank. This is your format. Please make a note of this. I'll go out of the screen. Now, so we'll go for the problem number 1. You will understand better how to do this. Now, record the following transaction in bank column of cash book, July 2017. Whatever transaction we are doing today, this is for 2017 records. Now, as per this, started business with cash rupees 80,000. Now, business started with cash rupees 80,000. Now, this is what your opening cash balance. Now, deposited into bank 50,000. Out of 80,000, how much you deposited? 50. So, instead of reading everything, we'll go one by one. I'll read out one and we'll solve in your sheet. Now, started business with cash 80. All the opening balance we said, debit side. To capital 80,000. Started business means what? It is an investment. Investment we call it as what? Capital. Now, this is done. Now, it is nothing but we are preparing your cash book. Now, deposited into bank. See, this is your contra. Out of 80,000 you have cash. Out of that 50,000 you have deposited into bank. You are not paying to outsider. You are paying to yourself. But cash decreases, your bank column increases. This is called contra. Remember, you have deposited into bank means your own cash you are depositing. How much cash you have? 80. Out of 80,000 you are depositing into bank. So, cash reduces 50,000. Remember? Now, in this, cash, it is this we call it as a receipt and this we call it as payment. Now, in this, you have deposited into bank means for bank, it is a receipt. For cash, it is a payment. Both the sides it comes. We call it as contra and we call it as contra. This is done. Any doubt? No doubt. Now, contra means what? Your own cash you have deposited in bank. So, for bank, it is a receipt. Whatever you write in the debit side, it is a receipt. Whatever you write in the credit side, we call it as payment. Now, 50,000 in the payment side. Now, next, received cash from Rahul. You are receiving cash. It is a cash. Now, received cash from Rahul. So, how much it is? 1,000. It is done? Yes. Next, this is done. Bought goods for cash. Bought means what? You are purchasing. When you are purchasing, you are supposed to pay cash. It should be which side? Credit side. Which column? Cash column. Why it is cash column? They have mentioned it as cash. Now, what is the amount? 8,000. Purchases 8,000. Any doubt? No doubt. Now, next, bought goods by check. Same example, but it is by cash, it is by check. Bought means payment side. Check means bank column. How much you should consider? It is 10,000. See, by purchase account, in the bank column 10. Why? Because wherever check comes, check you cannot encash unless you go to bank. So, we should consider it is as bank. Next, Paid to Sham by cash. Paid means what? Payment side. How they have paid in the cash. If it is by check, bank column. If it is paid by cash, cash column. So 25th, Sham, it is 20,000. 25th, Sham, it is 20,000. Any doubt? No doubt. Next, draw from bank for office use. Office use means what? It is not drawing. It is not personal. So, it is also contra. Why? Because you are running an office, you don't have cash. What you will do? You will withdraw from your bank account. Is there any changes? Yes. Your bank value account number, the bank balance will be decreases, but your cash increases. What is your total balance? Same. Now, this we call it as contra. Draw from bank for office use, we call it as contra. Now, how much it is? 12,000. So, draw from bank means for bank it is payment, for cash it is receipt. 12,000. See, it is a contra, 12,000 receipt. It is a contra, 12,000 payment. For bank it is a payment, for cash it is a receipt. Then, rent paid by check. Check means what? Bank. Now, it is 1,000. It is 1,000. Rent paid by check, it is 1,000. Now, I'll go back. Rent paid by check, it is 1,000. So, rent, check means we should write it under bank column. Remember, whatever you are writing, this we call it as debit and this we call it as credit. Now, so this is done. I'll go to the next one. Next. Draw from bank is over. Rent paid over. Cash paid into bank. Again, it is contra. Your own cash, your own bank account. Both are yours only. You are not paying to outsider. We call it as contra. Cash paid into bank means who is receiving? Bank. Who is paying? Cash. Now, for bank column, we call it as 10,000. It is a receipt. For cash column, we call it as 10,000. It is a payment. Hope you understood what is contra. Now, remember, cash paid into bank. Second one, cash withdraw from bank. Next, third one, cash withdraw for office use. So, these are called as contra. In your question, if you find the words like this, like cash paid into bank, cash withdraw from bank, cash withdraw for office use, these are called as, we call it as, it is contra. If you find these three, irrespective of reading further, just go for contra. Both the sides you have to write. Cash paid into bank means a receipt will be bank and payment will be cash. Cash withdraw from bank means a receipt is cash and payment is bank. Cash withdraw for office use, a receipt is cash and payment is bank. Remember this, very important. You should remember these things. These are very important. Now, you should remember these things. Why? Because the receipt and payment in contra, we should go for contra. It will not go to the outsider, but your cash and bank balance will interchange. Your cash increases, our bank increases. Now, so next one, this is done. Last one, paid salary by check. Paid means what? Payment side. Check means what? Bank column. 17,000. It is 17,000. Now, as I told you, don't check cash and bank together. First we'll go for cash, then we'll go for bank. Now, in this, first we'll check your cash. 80,000 plus 1, 81 plus 12, it is 93,000. 93,000. Now, we'll check your cash. 50 plus 8, 58 plus 20, it is 78 plus 10, it is 88. Yes. So, we have 88,000. Which side is more? Your debit side or credit side? Your debit side. We are not taking 5,000 means we are finding 5,000. In the answer, it is already there. But you are doing problem means you don't have this 5,000. Now, whatever from question we copied, we are added. Now, you got 93,000, you got 88. Whichever is higher, your debit side 93,000 is greater. Now, take 93,000. Higher value or greater value should be written both the sides. 93,000 and 93,000. From 93, you minus 88, you will get 55. Again, I'll repeat. From 93,000 minus 88,000, you will get 5,000. Any doubt up to this? No doubt. Now, this is done. Now, we'll go to your bank column. Now, in the bank column, 50 plus 10, it is 60. But here you have 10 plus 12, 22, plus 1, 23, plus 17, it is 40. Now, how much you got? 60. Now, 60,000 minus 40, you will get 20. This is all about your balance carry down. Now, so what date we should write for balance carry down? Which month you are doing? July. What is the last day of July? It is 31st. You should mention it as 31st of July. And what is your last entry? The salary paid. What is the date of salary paid? 31st. That day also you can consider. Now, so from 93 and 60, you got answer of 5,000 and 20,000. The same thing you have to copy and paste. To balance brought down 5,000 and 20. What is this? This is for next month. So once you're done with your answer, you have to show that what is your answer. Clear? Yes. So this is all about your double column cash book. I'll go back to your questions so that you can take screenshot. So this is your problem number 1. I explained you what is contra. Please make a note of that. These 3 we call it as contra. So this is your solution or answer for problem 1. Yeah. So this is all about your today's session. We discussed about what is 2-column cash book. In the next session, we'll go with 2 as well as 3-column cash book, and we'll wind up as soon as possible your first chapter. Thank you.